Mr. Tampert. I'm going to show you how to do problem number 2. Just follow along and you'll have this part in no time. It looks more difficult than it really is. What we want to do is open a new part. Start a 2D sketch like you always do. These parts always start out as 2D and then you make them 3D. I'm going to trace out basically a T shape here and start with the top of the piece, the top of the T. So it is 3 inches and then 1 inch. And then I'm going to show you what happens if you mess up. Should be 1 inch, but let's say you did something like this and you messed up. You can hit Control Z, or I've never showed you guys this before, you can do the dimension tool here and change that to 1 inch like it should be. You could do the same thing with this. You could change this to 0.5 or change it back to what it should be, 1. Another thing is, well, I'll show you in a minute. So keep drawing up your T here, and this is a weird dimension, 2.09. And what I'm going to tell you is you can do angles on here. I'll show you how to do this. You're not going to do it this time. You could, but I didn't give it to you. You could tell it what angle you want this to be, and you would change that. I try to avoid that if possible, and I normally get the 2 points that it goes between, and then I draw it. So that's why I'm over here now. If a dimension isn't listed or it's kind of unclear, just use whatever's closest. Just make it look close. And for instance, in this case, I think I put the wrong number in. Let's see. I made a mistake somewhere here. I made a mistake right here. This should be from the back of the part. So you should be able to fix that by going like this. And that should be well, that looks right. I don't know what I'm doing. Give me a sec. Okay, I got this. 2.09. That's how you can fix mistakes. Okay, still don't have it. Oh my gosh, give me a sec. Oh, this should be 2.09. So even I make mistakes. And see how you can fix that? And there you go. Now draw between these two. And you have that angled piece. Now what you want to do is add in this circular hole. You could do this later. You could do another sketch after you extrude. I find it easier to do this right now. And you could put it approximately in the right place and then dimension it to where it needs to be. You can always do that. Make things approximate and then go back and change it to the actual value. And this should be centered here, so I want to do to the center going in the Z direction. Nope, and it is good. I got my radius on there, so now I'm going to finish sketch. This piece is 1 inch thick, so extrude it by 1 inch. Some of you guys, this defaults, so make sure you check this, that it's 1 inch. Okay. And then another thing I did was I put a hole going all the way through this part. So I would sketch that on this surface, on this flat surface here. So start a sketch, make a circle, make it approximate, and I made the radius on it 0.5 again. If I do anything different in this video dimension-wise than I have on the piece of paper, feel free to just use the dimensions from the video if you want to. As long as it looks close, because I know I might mess up a couple dimensions here doing this in a hurry. Okay, now that it's placed in the right spot, finish the sketch, and you're going to do extrude. Make sure you choose the right thing. You need to choose that in order to extrude it. And then I'm going to do a cut instead of your normal extrude. And you can pull on this arrow. You want it to go all the way through. And then this next part is what looks so difficult, makes the part look much more intense than it is to use this chamfer tool. And that puts kind of a 45-degree angle on the edges, makes it look real nice. You could change up the value here at 0.125, and that's what I wanted to do. And so you'll just click around the piece and keep choosing all the different. He's yelling at me. I had to pause it. She just kept talking to me. So just go around, choose all of the surfaces. I even did around the circular features. And if you were to mess up, I'll show you what happens if you mess up on this tool. I'm not going to get them all. I don't have time for that. Make sure you choose them all. But if you were to mess up, you can go over here and right click and say edit feature. And you can change the value on that if you were ever to mess up. So notice I missed just one edge. Make sure you get them all. And then what you want to do is change this to, I thought gold was fun. You can hit G to kind of skip to there, and that changes the material, so it looks like gold. Make sure you guys save this to your H drive, like you've been doing this whole entire time. So H drive, boom. Yours will be your name, right? Not my name. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hope this helps.